Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Uncharted 3 Crushing Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the 12th mission, and it's entitled Abducted. So, Ramses is a pirate. He's the guy that hit you with the plank of wood in the last video, and this is the fight that follows when you break out of his lovely little shipping yard. So, this is a big brawl. There's a bunch of dudes. If you see anybody who puts his arms out like that, it means he's about to counter you, and I didn't counter it then, I got my ass kicked a little bit. But the quickest way of getting rid of all these guys is to throw them into surfaces, and like I say, use the context-sensitive motions to smash bottles on them, smash chairs on them, all that good stuff, and just be aware of your surroundings. If somebody comes in for a punch, you want to try and counter it as best you can, because there's too many guys in this room for you to get sloppy with the fighting. But by now you've done it enough, you should be getting pretty good at it, and the checkpoint is just before you broke out of the chair, so it's not too bad if you do mess it up. It's just going to take a couple minutes to get right again. And I think this is probably the hardest part of the game. And my reasons for thinking that is there's a handful of sequences from now to the end of the cruise liner level, and a lot of them are real challenging. Some of them are challenging because you're in water, and the combat in the water is pretty difficult because your aim's bobbing up and down with the ebb and flow of the water, and the enemies can seem to see you at some ridiculous ranges and hit you with all sorts of things. There's a couple fights that have got some ridiculous spawns and they seem to go on for a long time. There's a couple areas with rocket launcher guys and grenade launcher guys, and there's also the introduction of the vertical climbing stuff. And if anybody played Dark Void, you'll know that there was vertical combat on that game where you were using cover and you were shooting people like you would normally. The difference being is you were doing it down the side of a building or up a cliff. And it was probably the coolest thing about Dark Void. And don't get me wrong, Dark Void had some good things about it, but as a whole the game was pretty bad. It was pretty average and mediocre. This game is not. This game is fantastic, and it's utilised some of those features that Dark Void used, and it's implemented them in Nathan Drake's arsenal. And the first time we saw it was on the castle in Syria, when I was going up the side of the castle shooting dudes. Well, this takes it to the next kind of level, because there's going to be 2 sequences in this level where you do that. And each time you're going to go back onto normal ground, jump across, and then continue platforming in said fashion. So it's all in how good you are with assessing your situation, because if you're not behind a piece of cover that provides the vertical cover, you'll die immediately. And they're very easy to see. They're generally like an air conditioning unit that's got a red handle or a yellow handle, and as long as you're behind them, you're safe. If you're not, you'll die. These are also the sequence of levels that introduce you to the first heavy that you can't fuck with in hand-to-hand combat, which is the light machine gun heavy. And he takes a big old beating, and he gives out some serious damage, so he makes it challenging too. And then there is a sequence where the checkpoints are kind of crazy, and the game likes putting you really close to the enemies, which force you to fight in really uncomfortable territory. So if I've not, invoked the fear of God in you right now, I soon will do when you see the sequences, but they're not too bad when you know what you're doing. It's just significantly tougher than some of the ones we've done so far. So when you get into this room, Drake's going to steal this lovely blinged out holster, shoulder holster as it's called, and then you're going to move out and see where you are. But to do that, apparently we've got to go through a couple more doors. Completely jumped the gun. I think it's this one. And there you go. Now that you're outside, you see that we're in a world of trouble, because there's metal, there's rust, there's all sorts of shit, and it's just a ship graveyard. And the goal of this level is to get to Ramses' tanker, to save Sully, because Sully's about to be tortured. And it's a long time getting there, because you have to go through a lot of shit, but this first area is not too bad, because it's just some mild platforming, it's just some mild, Nathan Drakery. And once you've done it, it's going to lead you. Be careful for this jump here. If you don't hold forward as you jump, you'll miss the chain and die. It happened to me, it could happen to you. Coming up as well is probably the first checkpoint I would recommend saving on, because if you mess up this next area, the checkpoint that it gives you is really, really cruel. You'll be behind a box on the barges, and there'll be loads of people shooting at you from every angle, and it's just not a fun time whatsoever. But first we've got to get there. And getting there involves a lot of climbing. So just hop onto this boat, move through the boat as quickly as you can, and then you're going to drop off the other side of it and into the water. And once you're in the water, that's when the checkpoint hits, so that's where I'd save if you're going to. You don't have to, it's entirely up to you. Right now, I was thinking that there was a guy that I could take down and get a gun from, but there isn't. The only place to get a gun on this early part is off the barge when you drop into the water. So you'll have to excuse me. I just run back onto the other side of this boat to see if I can climb up to him. I can't, and then I decide to give it up as a bad job. And the reason I'm doing this is because I know that the next section's hard. Luckily enough, I had so much trouble with it on hard that when I came on crushing, I was so well prepared for it, I knew exactly where I wanted to go. And the strategy that I use is I swim past everybody at the start, I go all the way to the top northern corner, there's a guy on an armoured gun up on a platform, I climb up to him, I kill him, I use the gun to kill as many people as I can, and if anybody flanks around, I kill them at the side of the gun, and I just stay on that position until everybody's dead, and then I push forward and I hit the checkpoint. And it is the best way to do this area I've found, personally. There will be other ways to do it, but this is the one that works the best for me. And then afterwards, it enables you to run around and pick up some grenade launchers, pick up some rocket launchers, depending on what you want to carry. And you can take that into the next fight, which is another awkward one if you're ill-prepared. But there's my pistol, there's my gun, and there's the grenade, so now we have to swim. And this can be kind of fussy, so you need to be careful. The enemy AI on crushing is very observant. They will see you from some really big distances. And if anybody notices you but can't quite see you, they're just, suspicious that you're there. If you swim under the water for long enough and you get behind a piece of cover, you'll be fine. But the easiest way to traverse this area is just to keep exploiting the fact that you can go under for a couple seconds. This is the corner that I need you to swim towards if you're going to follow my strategy. And that's the guy up there that we have to kill to get on the gun. And usually when you get to him, he's on no idea that you're coming whatsoever, and you can just clean him up and continue to kill his buddies. But as soon as you kill the first few enemies are going to start spawning, and there's at least 20 guys on this section, and they come from all over the place. It's hard. There's a rocket launcher if you need it. I don't use it personally on this section at all. But come up here and then kill this guy. So I'm waiting for a second here because the guy saw me over on the left. He saw me when I climbed up onto the raft. You probably can't hear it because of the volume, but he definitely saw me, and he's there on the mast to the left of the guy I'm about to kill. As soon as he turns around, I'm going to climb up. And it doesn't really matter if he sees you if you've got this far, because you're going to be setting off everyone's attention in a moment anyway. But there's the mounted gun. Use it to kill as many guys as you can, and what you've got to be aware of now is you will get flanked from your right. They'll jump across from that boat and climb up like that guy has there that's about to kill me. God, I got lucky. If it wasn't for the fact that that mounted gun had armor on it, I would have died then. And the other place that they'll get you is, do you see the hole to my left that leads from the place I came from? They'll jump across all that stuff and then they will climb up to the left the way I climbed up. And as long as you keep on top of those two avenues and you keep shooting, your armoured gun, you should be fine. Obviously, they're brilliant with grenades, so you want to watch out for that. I nearly got fucked up then because I threw the grenade into a wall like an idiot. But take your time, pick your shots, save your ammo, and just know that there's going to be at least 20 normal dudes and a heavy that's going to rush you. When it's clear, you'll be able to tell because there'll be literally nobody shooting at you. You want to get as much ammo as you can, but be careful because you're going to trigger a spawn when you climb a ladder. But I'll tell you about that when we get there. So this gun's not very accurate. You've just got to put up with it. It does have a good 900 rounds though, so it doesn't matter how inaccurate it is. And just pay attention. Just watch both of your flanks. And hopefully this will work as well for your guys as it did for me, because this bit sucked when I first got here. I died a lot. And I died because I was trying to kill people from water with a pistol, and then I ran out of a pistol, and as soon as I climbed out I got my ass spanked. And just, ooh, that guy caught me off guard. Yeah, you want to watch out for that. Did not hear him and nearly died, but luckily enough he can't kill me quite as fast as I can kill him when it comes to doing the melee combat. But there's a shotgun there just in case anybody gets too close. That guy just threw a grenade, watch him. He's obviously armoured. The shotgun is a real good option for the armoured guys. So is the grenade launcher. So is the pistol, or the pistole, however you want to pronounce it. They're all good guns against him. Watch your back when you're doing this. I'm really reckless right now because I'm focusing on one dude when I could get easily shit-faced from behind. So I hit him with one, it hurts him but it doesn't kill him, and he's so close now the grenade will probably kill me, so it's time to go good old Marquis of Queensberry on him. And the armoured guys do take a beating, but luckily enough I'm covered by the gun and by the metal of this ship, so I can't get shot from the side, and I'm free to beat this dude up at my own leisure. But there you go. Smash his face into the wall, and then we're back to taking on the guys. So another grenade flies over. There's... Ooh, as if that did that much damage. It weren't even that close, but... There's one guy to my right there that I can see. There's nobody coming behind me. My life's back. I've picked up a sawn-off by accident, and then I can get back to using the 74U to clean up the rest of them. But that over there where those guys are, where I'm about to shoot it with this mounted gun once I finish picking up all the fucking weapons, is... There's going to be a lot of guys come from that area. They keep spawning over on that boat, a whole bunch. And there's not a lot you can do. You just kind of got to, you know, grin and bear it. Kill them at your own leisure. Kill them when you can. And just bear in mind, if you see them jumping that way, they're going to flank around onto these boats over here. So, he's another guy getting a little bit too overconfident. I think I saw a heavy over there. That's why I just picked up the grenade launcher. That's not a heavy. That's just a dude. That's the heavy, and look at him, he's got a full-on jog on. He's also got a sawn-off, so you want to keep him at a distance. That laser means trouble. You do not want to be anywhere near that laser is. Just go back to the safety of the turret and take him out. That guy gets shotgunned, denied, and we'll soon find out if anybody's left. So this is a really nice little hiding hole to use against all these enemies. And once it's clear, you want to eke your way around to that boat there. That's where the last enemies are going to be, because they're the ones that will generally not attack you, especially them on the masts, because they can't climb down, or they can climb down, but they're using long-range weapons, so they choose not to. That guy had a grenade. It didn't pay off for him. That guy's sniping. And I think that music cues the end of the fight. Oh no, there's still somebody here. That guy over there. Anybody else? So this is your time now to run around and pick up whatever guns you want. I die on this section, so I lose all the guns I pick up. I think I only keep one of them. But if you can avoid dying and making the mistake that I make, you should be okay. Because what happens is, the ship to my right that I was shooting at is the area you've got to go to. There's a mast on it and there's a ladder on it that you've got to climb. But when you move to it, the boat that's in the distance there with the cranes on it, there's a bunch of guys with sniper rifles and one guy with a rocket launcher that's going to appear, and he's going to start shooting at you, and you're in a really bad spot, so you need to get into cover and use your cover against them. And I don't do it effectively, so I ended up dying. So you're going to see a transition, or you might not see a transition, but you might see me having different weapons, and if you're wondering why that happens, it's because the game loaded me with different guns. But that guy right there has a grenade launcher that I just killed. You do not want to fuck with him. He does too much damage too quickly, and if you die right now, you will be all the way back in the water where we first dropped down. And you do not want that, because this gunfight is far too long to do again. But once you've cleared them out and you go to the mast, you will hit a checkpoint, so even if you die on these dudes that undoubtedly might cheese you like they cheesed me, you can take them out again. You get a nice chance for redemption. But I'm just going to be running around and picking up as much shit as I can, because it's just how I roll. And I'm always tempted between the grenade launcher and the rocket launcher, because my body makes me think that, you know, from my experience of playing games, the rocket launcher does more damage, but the grenade launcher has more ammo, so it's this trade-off, and I generally always go with the grenade launcher. But the checkpoint hits when you jump towards this ladder. You'll notice the enemies turn up on the horizon. So I'll show you in a second once I've finished hiding from them. Do you see the laser? Do you see the bullets? That's pretty much telling you everything you need to know. The guys have turned up. We just need to get into a spot now where we can take them out and they can't see us. So I used the side of the boat. I tried using this, but it didn't work because I couldn't see him, and the boy was moving up and down, and it was pissing me off when I was trying to aim. And that was gay too, falling in the water randomly. But you're like, come on, stop shaking, please stop shaking, and I'm just like, fuck this, I'm off, this is annoying me now. And I run and I go onto the boats, because the boats do not sway whatsoever. It's only these floating barges that do it. So if you're wondering why your aim's so terrible on them, it's because they're floating. Move to something not floating and you'll have a much more successful time. Just be aware, one of these guys has a rocket launcher. I think it's him. He's the guy that killed me when I was on that thing I'm looking at right now. So as long as you're conscious of that guy, you should be fine. There's one dude left with a sniper rifle, and unfortunately for him, the AK-47 has just the same distance as the sniper and will do just as good a job. But once you've cleaned all those out, all that's left to do now is jump towards the other boat, climb up the mast, and continue on through the level. And the first challenging section of this level is down, but there is another one coming up directly after it, so don't hold your breath just yet. There is more to come, and it is challenging. But use these precious moments now to rekindle whatever ammunition you can get as many grenades as possible, as many explosive weapons as possible, and make sure you've got a good pistol, because I end up taking the pistole with me, the crazy shotgun pistol, and it's not that good. Every time I get it, I generally have to shoot somebody at a distance, and obviously shotguns at a distance are fucking pointless, so I get screwed a lot when I use it, but it's just how it works, I suppose. And we are coming to the end of the level. There's not really too much to say. I'm trying to climb the ladder, but Drake's having none of it, because sometimes he moves like a fucking fridge. But as per usual, people, thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and you take care now.